Call yourself a free spirit, a wild thing, and you're terrified somebody's gonna stick you in a cage.
So this is probably the easiest style to do when your hair is shrunken up because your hair is shorter than normal and nobody can really tell in this style. So I'm just putting my hair into two parts, making a middle part, and then tying my hair into these two space buns. So I absolutely suck at verbally explaining this part, but basically the trick is you don't pull your hair all the way out from the rubber band. You only pull it like halfway. If you can see what I'm doing right now, I didn't pull my hair all the way out. I kind of like stopped, and then I wrap around any excess hair around the bun. And that's basically it. Like, I do this all the time when my hair is shrunken up and I can't really do much to it because it's not stretched out. So this is like a really easy go-to style and it's really cute.
Down in your heart.
So for my second style, I'm going to do a high puff. So I'm just starting by sectioning out this front part of my hair because that is going to be used later in the style. So I'm just sectioning that out and then tying it with a hair tie. And then I'm just taking some Eco Styler and then gelling down the perimeter of my head, avoiding that front section part. So I'm just gelling everything down and then brushing it. Then I'm just taking a shoelace and then tying around that section part. So I'm going behind that, tying it, and then just pulling back to form the puff. So when my hair is shrunken up, I normally like doing my puffs in the back of my head rather than on top because they're normally a little bit smaller. And then I'm just taking a pick to puff it up as much as I possibly can. Then I'm taking that front section and then splitting that into two parts, and then I'm just basically going to twist each part around as tightly as I possibly can and then pin it back to the side of my head. And adding these twists to the side of my head, I kind of just like doing that more when my hair is in its shrunken state because it kind of adds more to the style rather than just the regular high puff, because my high puffs are not as juicy when my hair is all shrunken up. And then I just redid that right one because I wanted to make them as even as possible. So after you pin those back with bobby pins, then you're done. So this last hairstyle is another form of a puff, but just with bantu knots included. So right now, I'm just trying to part a crown in the front of my hair and split that into two parts. If my part is messy, I'm sorry, but I'm just splitting that into two parts. And then I'm going to make 4 big bantu knots across the perimeter of my hairline. The number of bantu knots you make is obviously going to vary based on how big you want them and how much hair you left for them. So I just left enough for 4, and I'm pretty happy with the sizes that I made. So I'm just going to do that all across my hairline. Also, I know that I'm not explaining at all how to do the bantu knots. If you guys do want an in-depth tutorial, like a beginner's version of how to do bantu knots, I can definitely do those because once you get the hang of it, it's really, really easy. So once your bantu knots are done, you're basically just going to repeat the entire process of style 2. So I'm just gelling up the perimeter of my hair and tying a shoelace behind the bantu knots and pulling up into a puff. You can pick out the puff a little bit if you want to, just to add some more volume, and then after that, you're basically done.